Everyone's talking about the BRICS nations, the group of emerging economies supposedly trying to take over the dollar. But is that really what's happening? Can this alliance of 5 different countries actually build a new global financial system? Welcome back to Bear Economics, where we strip economics down to what actually matters. Let's talk about BRICS, their bold plan, and why I think it's going to fall flat. Okay, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. 5 of the world's largest emerging economies. Together, they represent about 40% of the global population and roughly a quarter of the global GDP. And lately, they've been making a lot of noise about challenging the US-led global order, especially when it comes to the US dollar's dominance in international trade. They've talked about launching this new BRICS currency, settling trade in local currencies, and building a financial system that doesn't rely on Western institutions like the IMF or World Bank. Sounds revolutionary, right? Let's dive a little deeper. So, why are these countries so eager to ditch the dollar? Sanctions is a big one. After Russia invaded Ukraine, it was cut off from SWIFT, the global messaging system banks use to move money across borders. That's like being banned from the internet of global finance. SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This connects over 11,000 financial institutions in more than 200 countries. It doesn't move money around itself. It transmits secure payment instructions, and it's essential for cross-border interactions. Being cut off from SWIFT is like being economically exiled, and that's exactly what happened to Russia. Dollar dominance. Almost 90% of all international trade is settled in US dollars. Even if you're not trading with the US, you're still likely using their currency. US control. The Federal Reserve raises interest rates, and the entire world feels it. Emerging markets see capital outflows, currency pressure, and inflation. That's an enormous lever of power. Bottom line, BRICS wants to build a system where Washington doesn't hold the keys. Let's talk reality, because BRICS has some serious internal problems. First, these countries don't trust each other. India and China, border skirmishes, and deep political rivalry. Russia and China, come on, Russia, China, give me a break here, okay? Uneasy allies at best with competing ambitions. And Brazil and South Africa, not exactly driving the global agenda. They're just pitching onto the ride here. All right, secondly, there's no shared currency. You can't build a global system using 5 separate unstable currencies. China's yuan is heavily controlled, and the others have limited global use. Third, there's no rule of law or transparency between them. Investors trust the US dollar, not because it's perfect, but because it's stable and enforceable. You can't say that about the BRICS system, run by authoritarian regimes with opaque financial practices. Bottom line, this is a coalition of convenience, not a united front. Let's get to the question that everyone's asking. What would the BRICS currency actually be? Oh wait, there's no official BRICS currency yet, but here's what's being discussed. There are rumors of a gold-backed BRICS coin to offer a hard money alternative to the dollar. But where would the gold be stored? Who manages it? And how do you get countries like China and India to trust each other's accounting? It sounds great on paper, but none of the logistics are in place. Second option, a digital BRICS currency. Some suggest a blockchain-based digital currency just for cross-border trade. But again, who controls it? The reason Bitcoin is so successful is because it's decentralized. Not one single entity controls it. And how do you get these 5 countries who pretty much can't agree on anything to trust one of them to control this blockchain? What happens if one country wants to print more digital units or manipulate the system? There's no unified vision, just speculation. Third option, local currency settlement. What's actually happening right now is simpler. Russia pays China in yuan. India settles with Brazil in rupees. That's not a new system. That's a patchwork workaround. Bottom line, there's no functioning BRICS currency. Not gold-backed, not digital, not even hypothetical. Just talk. Let me be clear. Yes, countries are trying to reduce their use of the US dollar. That trend's real. But replacing the dollar? That's a totally different beast. Here's why the BRICS won't pull it off. Lack of trust and coordination, no shared governance or legal framework, no financial infrastructure to rival the dollar system. The world still trusts the US system more, even with all its flaws. That's all our currency is based on is trust, and these countries don't have it. The US dollar is not dominant by accident. It's dominant because it's entrenched. So will the BRICS bring the dollar down? No. Will they keep making a lot of noise? Absolutely. But without trust, transparency, and a real currency, it's just posturing. The dollar's power doesn't come from hype. It comes from network effects, legal stability, and global confidence. And BRICS hasn't built anything close to that yet. Do you think BRICS could pull this off, or are they just bluffing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this breakdown helped you see past the headlines, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's worried about the dollar's collapse. I'll see you in the next video.